Hello, hello. How is everyone? It is Wednesday. It is time for another live. Last week's live, I was having a lot of technical issues with my computer connecting to Facebook and attempted twice from my phone, and it did not go well. So I just deleted that right off. I wanted to talk a little bit today about alignment, purpose, dharma, whatever those things look like for you. So let me make sure I have access to comments here. That is looking good. Let's see if we can get folks on here live. I think we're going to be changing this to 2 p.m. Central Time because there's not as many people available for noon. We are searching for that great available time that you can watch and be here because I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for you. So yes, the meeting is being live streamed. Perfect. So let's dive a little bit into alignment and dharma and intuition because it's a question that I've been asked a lot over the years. There have been times when people have reached out to me wanting me to help them discover their purpose in life or their dharma in what that looks like. So I'm going to walk you through something that you can do for yourself because here's the thing. This is the place that I come from. If there is something that you can do for yourself, I am going to empower you to do that for yourself because the work that I do with people one on one, when I'm connected with people in my mentorship, the mastermind, I am there to help people facilitate the deeper things that they can't quite put their finger on it themselves. It needs to be unraveled. We unravel it together and we take care of those things. When you can access, process, and have awareness around certain things in your life, it actually helps you to speed up the results when you do hypnosis work, when you do subconscious work, when you do coaching. So that's what I want to empower you with today. Now, those of you who might be catching me over on LinkedIn and YouTube, if it is your first time coming across my feed, my name is Penny. I'm a board certified hypnotist. I'm an intuitive. I'm an experiencer, and I have 25 years of health care experience. I was a critical care nurse and then a nurse anesthetist for the last 15 years of my career. And I've made that transition from employee to business owner. And at this point, I'm going through my up level to become a true CEO of my business. I have worked with many highly successful people over the last 4 years at different stages in business. Now I work with those people who really want to tap in to that deeper knowing and trust so that they can fearlessly be who they want to be. Like, you've been successful. And it's like, damn, it's time for me to just be me. Like, it's so incongruent to not be me and to help them lean into that intuition and release those fears and doubt that run underneath the surface that we're not even aware of at that level of success. And I love to sit back and watch how people's relationships and their business, how it just blossoms as a result of their commitment to the inner work for themselves. So let's talk a little bit about alignment, intuition, your dharma. People ask me, let's start with the dharma piece. People will ask me, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my dharma? How do I know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because typically as adults, when we become aware of this personal growth journey, when we become aware that we don't have to live up to the stories and the stereotypes and all the things that we grew up with, that we truly can dictate and decide what our life looks like, we want it to happen quickly. And things can happen quickly. They can happen very, very quickly. It depends on, partly, not completely, depends on how much is there to unravel. Everyone is able to unravel past stories and beliefs at a different pace. People are able to move into a state of acceptance at a different rate. Some people have things from their past that are really embedded in their identity, and it can feel really uncomfortable and unsafe to let that go. While other people, it's not embedded in their identity, it's just a part of their filter of the world. Now, why do I say that? It's because I don't want you to compare yourself to anyone else on this journey. Because even though we all have this 3D body, we're all here having this human experience, this emotional experience, the lessons that we chose to come here to learn. The way that we have picked up things subconsciously, the way things have become connected, it is different for all of us. In the same way that no two of us have the same DNA, no two of us have the same network of subconscious beliefs, patterns, and perceptions. So we want to get on the fast track sometimes, and we can become frustrated with ourselves when it's not happening as fast as we think it should. The other thing that goes to the speed of it happening is how much work you're actually doing. Sometimes we're reading books, we're watching videos like this one, and we dip in and out. We dip in and out. There's no consistency. And when we lack that consistency, it takes longer. There's nothing wrong with that. It's about building a habit of consistency. I'm feeling the energy, guys. Just give me a second. We have to build that consistency and that habit of staying tuned in, of doing the work. And I'm just as guilty as anyone of dipping in and out. I feel like think of it like going on a diet, right? I don't recommend diets. They're 4-letter words. It's all about deprivation, lack, scarcity. Anyway, but think of it like a diet. You're going to commit to a new way of eating, and you're good for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're like, oh, I got this. And then you stop intentionally focusing your attention on it, and you slip up one day, and then you slip up another day, and then the next thing you know, you're off the eating plan, right? The same thing can happen with our personal growth. It takes more than reading a book. It takes more than watching a video. We can have great epiphanies and ahas and realizations, but it takes that embodiment of the awareness and to practice being in a state of awareness to have that consistency along that journey. When it comes to your dharma or your purpose, I think it's really important to let yourself be curious and be childlike. This is what I tell people to do, to be curious and to be childlike. Think of some of the things that you really liked to do when you were a kid or a teen, and go do them. I mean, maybe I've mentioned this before, and this because this is an example that's come up more than once in my work with people. Maybe you really enjoyed art or poetry or writing, and you were told, oh, well, you can't make money doing that. So go to school to be an English teacher, go to school to be an architect, like channel your art that way. Oh, okay, right? It makes sense at the time, and you go do it, but you find that your heart's not in it. It's not in passion. So why not go back and take up drawing again? Why not go back and take up poetry again? Maybe it was an instrument that you love to play. Pick that up again. It may not be the thing that you generate your revenue with. Maybe the way that you generate your revenue becomes a vehicle for you to enjoy your passion, and your passion is how you change lives. I think this is something that I see often that people automatically think that once they find their dharma, that that dharma has to become their business, that they need to leave their job and start a business. I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone. And it's okay if it's not for you, because you can have something in your life that brings you great joy and that you bring great joy to other people. And by having that satisfaction in your life, maybe the job that you work, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not a bad job. Maybe it's not anything bad at all. It just doesn't fulfill you. Maybe it's not that you need to leave that job. Maybe it's you need to change the story, that that schedule, that income, that revenue allows you to do this thing that you really love so that you can change people's lives. And then you can watch magic unfold. You never know what might happen as a result of that. Again, the energy. It's a full moon. It's a full moon, and we're talking about a spiritual subject. So it's the energy. So get curious around the things that you used to love to do and go out and play and have fun. Find something that brings you joy and see what unfolds in terms of opportunities. Because when we get caught up in doing of day to day, and this is a little off topic, but if you're someone who's caught up in the doing and you're not caught up, you're not the person who's in a state of being where you're happy, joyful, you're seeking out ways to bring joy into your life, it can become very disconnected. So curiosity is where it starts. Now, you have this curiosity. Now it's time to learn to pay attention to the nudges. Your intuition, so people say the universe, but through your intuition, you'll get these nudges, right? Oh, you know what? I don't know. I feel like I want to connect with this person, right? So maybe you have this passion and there's I don't know, we're just going to make up an example. And there's an influencer on Instagram who has a complementary passion. You're like, you know what? I don't know why I'm just feeling compelled to reach out to this person. Follow that intuition. You don't know what might happen. Follow those nudges and see what doors open for you. I'm going to tell a little bit of a story. It's just one tiny sliver of really my origin story of where I am in hypnosis now. But when my stepmom became very sick, my dad had Alzheimer's, and I had taken my first hypnosis certification, and there was something inside of me that says, you have to open a hypnosis practice. This is what you're here to do. I had no idea how I was going to do it. My parents lived 1,300 miles away, and I was unable to find a local job to move down here to be near them to help manage their care. And I went to this person I really admired a great deal. And I said, I don't know what to do. Like I'm feeling compelled to do this, but I may have to drop everything and go to Mississippi at any time. And I just don't know what to do. And this person told me, said, Penny, you cannot put your life on hold for what may or may not ever happen. You still have to live your life. And I followed that advice. I found a little local office. It was $500 a month in a medical building. It was a little office, just perfect, absolutely perfect size. It was half a block down the street from my house. It was beautiful. But what I had done is I just said, God, if you just open the door, I will walk through it. I will not question it. Like if this is what I'm meant to do, you open the door and I walk through. That is what trusting your intuition is. And when things present themselves to you, you're thinking, I don't know about this. I mean, I took on rent. I didn't have a client, and I took on a rent payment, and like right away got my first client. And where my packages were priced, one client paid my rent, two clients covered all my bills, plus I had money to invest back into the business at that time. And it all came from trusting that intuition. It didn't make sense. Nobody I know would have recommended to me to go out, sign a lease, and open a business when I had two of my four parents having major health issues 1,300 miles away, and I wouldn't know when I would have to drop everything. And you know what? That little part-time hypnosis practice, it thrived. It did really well. And then I shut it down in 2015, May of 2015, when we moved back to Mississippi to my childhood home. But that's one example of following your intuition. It doesn't always make sense. And if it's not clear to you what your intuition is saying, you can ask, give me a sign, or can you show me more information? And if you ask it to give you a sign, you want to ask for a sign that's not something you see every day, right? So you might say, I want to see a purple star, right? I want to see a purple star. And then next thing you know, you head into town, you're doing something, there is a truck that goes by pulling a tractor trailer truck that goes by, and there's a big purple emblem on the door of the truck. And you're like, well, that was weird, right? So lean into that intuition, follow that intuition. Another good example of intuition coming to you is you could be driving somewhere and all of a sudden you get the nudge to take a different route. And you don't know why, but you're like, all right, I'll go this way. And you go the other way and you find out that you missed some traffic accident, or, maybe there was a water main that went, so roads were blocked. And if you had gone the other way, you would have had to turn around and come all the way back. And it would have just been a lot of shenanigans if you hadn't followed that intuition. That is another great example. Now, when you become aware of your intuition, now I'm going to tell you, we have intuition all the time. Whether or not we're aware of it and pay attention to it is two different things. But once you become aware of this intuition and you start to follow your path of alignment, you start to follow those curious nudges and you experience what it's like to lean into your intuition. If you start to make choices or your thinking goes out of alignment with your path that you have started on now, you will be more aware of it. We are never out of alignment. We're on our path. Our path is our path. But once our thoughts and beliefs and our choices come into alignment with what our path is, because for some of us it may happen earlier, for some of us it might happen later. Once we begin to experience that joy and that bliss and that satisfaction, when our choices and beliefs that we may have that come to the surface, when those things move out of alignment with our path, we feel it. And we feel it big time. And that is the universe. People get so upset when they have negative feelings. They think that feelings of sadness and anger and fear and all of these things are bad things to be avoided. They are not. They're literally saying, okay, we're not happy anymore. We're not content anymore. It's like, what are you doing? We need to move back over here. We need to move back to the center line. That's all your emotions do. Your emotions are telling you when your experiences or your perceptions or your beliefs are out of alignment with that statement of peace, of contentment, of bliss, of joy. And they're literally a compass. So if you catch yourself all in your emotions, ask yourself, okay, where is what I'm experiencing? What do I need to do? What is it that I need? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, what is it that I need to bring myself back to the center line. And sometimes these emotions that come up, some of them are in the present moment, but some of them are stuck from the past. And sometimes it's just present moment irritations, which we can simply ask at that point, what is it that I need to feel better right now? And then you do that thing and you feel better. But if you ask yourself, what is it that I need to do to feel better right now? What is it that I need to bring myself back into alignment? And you do it, and you're still feeling all the feelings, then chances are there have been times in the past when you had a very similar experience with a very similar feeling, and all of these emotions have now come to the surface, and they're asking you to either move into a state of acceptance, to release or neutralize those emotions, or they're letting you know that there is a perception there that needs to be shifted so you can be at peace. When I work through hypnosis with clients and we end up going down a path where we're neutralizing past emotions, it's not about rewriting history. It's not about rewriting history. It's about knowing then what we know now so we can shift our perception of the experience. And it's a fine line, and it's work that when you're ready, when you're just like done and you're like, I'm done, I'm had it, let me just handle this, that you can very quickly get shifts and change that will forever, forever positively impact your life. So that's all about alignment. It's about your dharma, your alignment, your dharma, your intuition. If alignment is important to you, if making sure that you're making choices and you're building your business and you're living your life in a way that is aligned with you and what you want, I want you to join me September 20th for the Be the CEO of Your Life masterclass. Now, if you're in my Facebook group watching this right now, there's nothing you have to do. We're going to be going live here in the group, but there is going to be an upgrade to a VIP experience where once the live portion is done, we will be behind the scenes in the Zoom room, and I'll be doing a little bit of coaching. Maybe we do a little bit of hypnosis. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like yet. I'm still waiting for it to come through on this full moon today, but I want you to mark your calendars for September 20th. And we're going to connect here, and we are going to have some fun. All right. If you are curious in connecting with me, doing an identity snapshot just to kind of get a feel for where you are in your process of alignment, in your process of following your intuition, in your process of being the person that you know you absolutely have the potential to become, that next level version of you, DM me and I'll send you a link. We can just book a quick 15-minute call, and we can see what's there. I'll see you next week.